My name is Valerie Sabaliskis. I am the artist currently known as Starving. I live in Ottawa here. By day, I work in a call center here. By night, I am a co-promoter for a local rave company and throw raves with my friends, as well as go on road trips to other cities to rave even harder. And sometime in between, I work on my art practice. I am asked all the time where I get my ideas, and my best ideas I get is when I walk my dog Tootsie. But walking Tootsie was not where I got the idea for the sex life of trees. That is a different story. Once upon a time, because all the best stories start out that way, I lived in Vancouver. It's a pretty city nestled in between mountains and an ocean. At this time, I went to an art school called Emily Carr. In my second year, we weren't allowed to specialize very much in the studio arts, and I was obsessed with printmaking at the time and already maxed out my allowed credits for the print classes. Having to fill my timetable up, I wasn't too sure what I should take, and word around campus was to take ceramics. It was the talk of the visual arts majors. Ceramics this, ceramics that, you should take ceramics. Oh my god, ceramics. Ceramics like totally changed my life. You have to take ceramics. So that was exactly what I did. 6 credits, double studio with Linda Sorman. Needless to say, I wasn't very good at ceramics. I couldn't throw a pot to save my life, and in fact, the only thing I seemed good at was having my clay fly across the room. I was really frustrated in that class, and I decided to look more into how ceramics related to print. And I noticed a lot of things they did have in common. Both straddled commercial as well as fine art applications. Both deal with seriality, repetition, and to some extent the plasticity of the medium itself, be it clay, paper, metal, wood, glazes, etc. In this exploration, I discovered ceramic printmaking, and I decided to throw my energies there. I grabbed a bunch of pine cones, did some studies of them, and spent a lot of time printing my etchings of pine cones on clay using ceramic ink. From first-hand experience, ceramic etchings weren't really used a lot by printmakers as ceramicists simply from the fact that it's such a cumbersome pain in the ass to pull off. After research, more research, and experiment with glaze after experiment with glaze, God bless the ceramic studio tech Leon, he's the best resource ever. And months later, I managed to pull some respectable prints. The print department loved them. They were excited and thought they were really neat. And I showed them to Linda, and she thought they were okay, but to make the piece pop, went on a hand-build a pine cone to go with them. To not rock the boat with my ceramics instructor, I devoted a quick 3 hours to building a giant pine cone, which I glaze fired. Now for the big reveal, Crit Day. The day we as a class can eyeball what everyone has been up to for the past month. I displayed my ceramic etchings proudly with my giant pine cone as the afterthought next to them. The worst thing happened. No one even looked at my etchings. Everyone enthusiastically raved on about how the stupid pine cone was the best thing I made all year. They loved it, and I was seething. Stupid fucking pine cones. Ranting to myself under my breath. As I marched like a bag lady, I was dusted with clay and smeared with ink stains on my hands to the bus stop. Fucking pine cones, stupid fucking pine cones. And of course I knew too many people at that bus stop, so I walked up the hill to the Broadway bus stop to get on the 98B line, ranting away to my spot in the back of the bus. People around me were trying to pay way too much non-attention to their books or out the window as they tried to shift as far away from the crazy bag lady, muttering about pine cones. I'll show you fucking pine cones. And that's when I had that eureka moment. Actually, that's a brilliant idea. Fucking pine cones. What would happen if I made hundreds of pine cones and replaced real pine cones with a reproduction of a pine cone? Would the general public even notice that one element in their environment isn't even real, but was a construct? The cultural theorists would have a field day. A few years later, and in a city 3 time zones away, that was exactly what I did. I recycled some clay and hand-built and bisque-fired 1,000 pine cones and installed them in a public park in downtown Ottawa.
Speaking of pine cones, looks like the NCC hasn't been doing their job properly. There's one.
No. That's the thing about Ottawa is it's called Ottawa. They have bylaws against fun, so not even the trees can get laid. You know.
I'd fuck this tree.
You would?
Yeah.
There's a YouTube video of a girl fucking a tree. She was all like, "I'm high on drugs at a festival. Ooh, yeah, nature. I love my wood hard. Ooh."
Terrible.
Well, she wasn't really making the sex sound. She was just more like pulling down her pants while the guys were cheering, all like, "Woo, let's see that bong." Oh, YouTube.
So, what other type of characters other than the crackhead? What did the crackheads do?
Well, there was a point, one of the lady friends in the crowd, I guess she was really high and didn't like the feel to the place, so she rearranged the pine cones, cleaned up the pathway a bit, to her liking, so that was awesome. I was really happy about that interaction. There used to be a fountain there, and there was a family.
It's now a trash can.
No, the trash can was there. It was kind of like where that box is. That's where the fountain is. I'm pretty sure the fountain's still under that box.
Yeah.
But there was this family drinking at the fountain. I don't know why anyone would dream of drinking out of a fountain in a public park, because at night people just use it like a urinal, but whatever. They were drinking out of it, and like a bunch of...
Mommy, this water's salty.
Oh, you sound like you have personal experience with water.
Maybe.
Well, drinking water, drinking that kind of water, urine, mainly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was during my tenure in Siberia, the Gulag.
Okay. Yeah, you got to get those errant salt and electrolytes you expelled. So anyway, the family was just talking, whatever, the adults, but the kids noticed pine cones, so they were picking them up and dancing with them. That was pretty cool.